A reading from Matthew chapter 9, beginning at verse 9. As Jesus passed on from there, he saw a man called Matthew sitting at the tax booth. And he said to him, "Follow me." And he rose and followed him. And as Jesus reclined at table in the house, behold, many tax collectors and sinners came and were reclining with Jesus and his disciples. And when Jesus saw this, they said to his disciples, "Why does your teacher eat with the tax collectors and sinners?" But when he heard it, he said, "Those who are well have no need of a physician, but those who are sick. Go and learn what this means. I desire mercy and not sacrifice. For I came not to call the righteous, but sinners." While he was saying these things to them, behold, a ruler came in and knelt before him, saying, "My daughter has just died, but come and lay your hand on her, and she will live." And Jesus rose and followed him with his disciples. And behold, a woman who had suffered from a discharge of blood for 12 years came up behind him and touched the fringe of his garment. For she said to herself, "If I only touch his garment, I will be made well." Jesus turned, and seeing her, he said, "Take heart, daughter, your faith has made you well." And instantly the woman was made well. And when Jesus came to the ruler's house and saw the flute players and the crowd making a commotion, he said, "Go away, for the girl is not dead, but sleeping." And they laughed at him. But when the crowd had been put outside, he went in and took her by the hand, and the girl arose. And the report of this went through all that district. This passage begins with an account of Jesus calling Matthew the tax collector. And I know tax collectors are not popular now, but you need to understand that in the Roman Empire, and certainly in Israel at this time, in Judea, tax collectors were even less popular. Because if you were living in Jerusalem, the taxes were being collected for Rome, and Rome was the occupying force. So your money was being given to those soldiers who were parading around. And to be a tax collector, therefore, was to collaborate with this Roman Empire. And so you were shunned. You were seen as dishonest. You might palm a bit of the tax income for yourself, just for your trouble, you understand. Tax collectors were outcasts. In fact, some early teaching said that if a tax collector came into your house, well, the rabbis taught your house would be unclean. It needed to be cleansed. So Jesus is here walking amongst the outcasts, those who would have been seen as sinners. And he's also, we read in the passage, reclining at table with sinners. Not simply tax collectors, but others. It's not specified why these people were sinners. That's not really the point of the passage. The point is that Jesus was going and was being and was dining with the tax collectors and the sinners. And in the interplay there was some discussion about this, but in the end Jesus put it succinctly. "I came not to call the righteous," he said, "but sinners." Now, of course, in our modern day and age, we don't like all this language about sinners. In our modern day and age, we don't like to be told that we've done anything wrong. We are self-justifying people. But in the end, that's a great loss. It's a great loss because Jesus came to save sinners. And if we don't accept we're sinners, if we protest that we're perfect, well, we're outside of that scope. Rather, there is a healthiness in understanding that we are human, and that being human, we get things wrong. That being human, we are not perfect. That being human, we are sinners. So rather than trying to hide things from God as if you possibly could, better to make a clean breast of it. Better to say that you're not perfect. Better to say that you are sinful. Better to be realistic. Because if you accept you're a sinner and come to God as such, then you're precisely the person that Jesus came to save. So don't try and construct some sort of facade, some sort of mask, as if you're a perfect person. Rather, own up. Accept you're human. Accept you get things wrong. Accept you are a sinner. And then rejoice that you're precisely the person that Jesus came to save.